Well, a very good morning, everybody, for Wednesday, the 28th of September. Well, we've had some gradual opening of the ice bars, which is nice, starting to reduce the wind a little bit, still bringing in from that northwesterly direction, which I must say is feeling very, very cold now. I think we've been seeing overnight lows quite regularly now, below 10 degrees. The fronts have sort of moved away, but and hopefully still has the shower risk. And as we go through into tomorrow, that shower risk starts to increase again before yet another low pressure system starts to make its presence known. So a brief respite in the weather, but yeah, definitely autumnal. The satellite picture over the UK shows a fairly bright start for us. Not so much evidence of wave interference at the moment either, which is nice. So it shouldn't be quite so rough as it has been over the last few days. Some isolated patches of cloud, but over Lasham, minus some high level cloud, a really nice start to the day. Looking at the winds, still coming in from the northwest, a little bit lighter than they have been in previous days. Northwesterly to northwesterly, 10 to 15 knots. Public forecast shows a top temperature of 13 degrees, not very nice, and feel light temperature of 11. And you can see that light northwesterly throughout the day, thankfully not strong at all. And looking through over the next few days, yeah, it's staying fairly mixed, but those temperatures, yes, generally floating around the slightly below or at average for this time of year. GFS predicts 13 degrees as well, so that's pretty much spot on, and dew points down to about 4. Currently at Lasham, we have a chilly 7 degrees and a dew point of 5. I think David has done a forecast. I'm sure you can look that up, but that's the picture outside, looking fairly bright and nice, with no real significant weather at the moment. Farnborough are currently reporting no cloud detected, 240 between 240 and 310. So the wind is a little bit variable at the moment, but it generally settles down to northwesterly during the day, and a few clouds at 3,500 feet. Hopefully, from the looks of that, no chance for shower activity. Let's just look at sky sight, which I'm going to use for today's models. As you can see here, potential flight distance over the UK. We're not in a bad area. The option to go up towards Bryce or down towards the coast a bit. Generally not quite so good out to the west. If we look at thermal strengths, so if we look, it's probably not going to get particularly soarable before lunchtime, but after lunch, weak to moderate climbs. I think you have to take the colours of a pinch of salt on here. It generally thinks that 2 knots is bad, but then we have to think, well, it is nearly October. This showing the chance of shower activity further west you go into Wales. Height of thermals. Locally, starting off at around 3,500 feet to 4,000 feet or so. And some areas it might get up to 4,500 feet in the areas such as just south of Bryce. But yeah, around us, generally looking at that a little bit lower, but still not bad for the time of year. And that good weather really extending up towards Worcestershire as well, but not so good to the east of Oxford. Q cloud base, and there should be reasonable cumulus across the region. Again, starting off here around 4,000 feet, and maybe even getting up towards 5,000 feet north of Bryce and into Oxfordshire. So your best play area really sort of up towards just west of South Cerney and round the Bryce zone if you're brave, or just south of Bryce. Cloud cover. You can see quite a lot of cumulus in there. Might get a little bit congested at times, especially during the middle part of the day. I think SkySight and Top Meteor have both underpredicted the amount of spread out that could occur. Certainly the Met Office picks that up quite nicely. But if we look at the skew T for 2 o'clock, you can see that although there's not much of an inversion, there's a fair amount of cloud there at around 1,600 meters, so what's that, 4,500 feet.
So yeah, and that's with a temperature of about 13 degrees. So yeah, worth bearing in mind that Meteo thinks it's going to be slightly better than it probably will be, because this is showing very thick cloud in the middle part of the afternoon. Looking at us during the day, fairly similar. See, it's a bit drier first in the afternoon. So yeah, about 2 o'clock, a little bit drier, if you can call that dry. And freezing level, looking at that, is around cloud base. So yeah, sort of 4,500 feet or so at best. Point forecast for the middle of the region. This afternoon, you can see where those cloud tops go, and those weak to moderate climbs. But hey, it's soarable. It's not as windy as it has been in the last couple of days. So yeah, not bad. Looking to anything else. Rain is generally keeping to the west of us today, which is nice. Not going to get wet. And convergence. See if there's any convergence today. Probably only around those showers. Yeah, it's mostly limited to around those showers, so no real convergences. And wave interference, a little bit, but hopefully not too much. So yeah, this showing it at about 3,000 feet, but yeah, a small chance of wave interference, but nothing like we saw on Monday. Good. So I think to sum up, a reasonable day for what is nearly October now, with the chance of some cloud getting in the way. But yeah, a day to make the most of it. Cut off really not much after sort of 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock at this time of year. So yeah, make sure you're on your way back. On to airspace. It looks all a bit horrible, but it's a bit easier than this. We have to remember now that things have shifted a little bit in where royals are travelling from, at least at the moment. And I'm trying to pin down how that might change, and we'll have a look at that over the winter. But I imagine the king and the queen consort are probably moving around looking at this, because there is a temporary controlled airspace set up between 10:45 and 11:25 at Kemble. So it's not really going to affect you, but there is that 5 nautical mile ring round Kemble up to 4,000 feet, and you've also got airways from sort of 4,000 feet and above in the Bryce area, and it goes all the way out to Worcestershire. But yeah, your main area you're trying to avoid is Kemble this morning before midday. Let's have a look what else we've got, because it was quite a bit. Lots and lots of paragliders, that's normal. Potential parachuting at South Cerney. It's not notified as active today, but they've got an airspace, they got a no time for the whole period of basically September and October. So just keep your eye out if you're going near South Cerney. Danger area Everley is active today. It gets raised this afternoon, but just treat it as active for 3,000 feet. And the whole of the Salisbury Plain is quite busy at the moment with training and items like that. So yeah, Everley's active, number 24 there. West on the Green is active for the day and into the evening as well. 25 is lots of paragliders on the Kingsclear Ridge or just near that, and yeah, there's a lot of paragliding going on, but then hey, they're trying to make the most of the weather as we are. Okay, I think that's generally it. Let's have a look at what that is up there. Oh, I see. That's where they're going. They're going to the king and queen consort going to Harden and Liverpool. That's very exciting. Right. Anyway, operationally, we'll be runway 27 today. There will be some crane activity, as in lifting crane, in the 2XL Woods. They're doing some scrapping over there at the moment, so just make sure you're not buzzing that low. But I don't think that would be the sort of top of your priorities if you were that low. So yeah, 27, and there's no jet movements that I have been notified of. yeah, wrap up warm, and we will see you on the airfield shortly. And just remember those 1/2 to 2/3 air brake approaches, as we still have those wind gradients. Bye for now.